Good day, everyone, especially to you, Mom Rachel. My assigned topic is Lesson 18, which is about testing reading skills. Now, let's start. Is tested in reading skills. The most common reading comprehension assessment involves asking a child to read a passage of text that is leveled appropriately for the child and then asking some explicit, detailed questions about the content of the text. Often these are called iris. So I tried to search what this iris means. Wala siyang meaning. Way na siya. And then it is a reading assessment. So sa pamaagi ani diri na to makita nga ang imong student nakasabot ba sa iyang gibasa. And it is also very important nga natay testing reading skills because it is a way to understand students' overall reading abilities and to determine if kana nga student are appropriately prepared for the next stage for further learning and educational advancement. Let's go on to the introduction. Reading is an art to comprehend the writers and to be concerned to the reader's conceptualization. The art here refers to as finding to an aesthetic and reliability to what is being read. The art refers to us finding out a buried treasures from a word, phrase, sentence, paragraph, and discourse. Comprehending reading text means the ability to understand written text in order to get the gist of what is written. Conceptualization refers to a prior knowledge of the reader that is being in the reader's mind used as a flexible filter in doing reading. Reading is not easy as what people think. It needs an interest as the substantive step to go on reading comprehension. Many other things needed to do reading to go further to the level of keep on reading than to the level of reading fluency and comprehension. In order to know such a level of reading, it is important to do a test assessment. Again, reading comprehension is not easy to do. In Asia, it indicates that the students in 4th grades were very low in reading ability and in comprehending a simple paragraph from a grade level text. Rath Vaughan further said that many questions, controversies, and challenges remain regarding the most effective way of identifying children at risk for reading problems. Testing reading is important to do in order to evaluate the aspects that can be used to arise the effective way of analyzing, identifying the needs to be put into account concern reading. So yes, reading is really an art. Because those writers, wala na sila kapatagag butang anang word or sentences or paragraph nga walay unod, walay meaning, or what I have said earlier, hidden treasure. And they make a way nga maka-catch up og attention, interest ana nga reader. And it's true na reading is not easy because need na siya interest, of course, na mo go on ka or mo continue ka ana nga story nga imong gi-read because it is very different mangkod nga mubasa ka o walay comprehension, diba boring imong padulngan. And now, let's move on to the discussion. Testing reading seems to be confusing since no understanding what items to be tested. Reading comprehension, fluency, speed includes making the text of the test, the validity, Reliability, difficulty, and types of the test should be absolutely considered at all. Now, diri na to makita ug unsay mga way sa pagtest sa usa ka student in their reading skills. Testing and assessing. It is better to distinguish between a test and an assessment. A test is a measuring device for assessing the achievement of the objectives in a training system, which is a set of questions for which there is an accepted set of correct answers. The characteristics of a test may be knowledge, ability, attitude, intelligence, or etc. Testing refers to the way of questions and or statement to find out the feedback or response and answers to be assessed and evaluated. A test is just to assess, measure, and evaluate. It is not a judgment at all. Testing is closely related to assessing, and they should be walked together. A test is done by a teacher for the students, but assessment is done by the teacher and the student. A test includes formal and informal assessment and self-assessment. An assessment is a part of a test. It is usually done before, in progress, and or after the learning. To assess means to estimate and not to judge. To be said as a success or not but a test might be said to decide a success or failure. Assessment is the ongoing process of gathering, analyzing, and reflecting on evidence to make informed and consistent estimation or decision to improve students' future learning. Testing reading. There will be 4 skills that can be tested. Deal with language proficiency. So, if we deal with testing of reading, then we may involve speaking and also listening. Because when someone is tested in reading, such as reading aloud, when he or she seems to speak and listen to some items that will be tested, such as the intonation, stress, sounds, applying phonics, and etc. Testing reading seems to be very easy at first glance, but it would be very difficult when trying to conduct a various level and types of the test. Doing test of reading, it is urged to decide what to assess so that we can determine the type of the test appropriately to take out. After deciding the first step, testers should identify the level of testee and the ages, because each level of ages has different ability concerns reading ability. Now let's go on to the last part, the what to test and assess. So, according to Alderson 2000, deciding test of reading in a second language, the aim is normally to test a language-related ability and not intelligence. Dealing with reading, the ability here refers to the capability in decoding text, reading fluently, reading quickly, or the speed, and comprehending text, of course. So these 4 types of ability will represent in what to test in testing reading skills, and the first 3 types are the basic to reading comprehension. So first is the reading decoding. This is the basic reading ability. Reading decoding is the ability to decipher the sounds represented by each letter or combination of letters in a word. So, ang example ana is kanang when the letter C is followed by the vowels E, I, or Y. So, it means it is usually makes its soft sound, as in cell, city, and cypress. For years, it was thought that if children could learn to decode words accurately, they would be successful in reading printed text. In reading decoding, tester would like to assess whether the children are able to code or decipher sounds and photo in a letter or in words. This type of test is not only for merely children, but this is also fit to adults who are still having problems in spelling some distinct letters or alphabet. So it means kani siya dili lang siya para jud sa mga bata, but pwede po siya sa mga dagko nga problema sa pagbasa kay sa una di ba dili man nila priority ang education. So naadjay makabantay man ta nga naadjay mga bisan karon adults na di gyapon kabalo mo basa. Reading fluency. Reading fluency refers to accurate and automatic decoding of the words in the text along the expressive interpretation of the text achieve optimal comprehension. So kani siya usapud nato ma-test ang bata through fluency ang mabasa, accurate. Dali siya maka-mention sa usa ka words and padayon ang iyang pagbasa nga walay pagputol-putol. And now the reading speed. This test is almost the same as testing reading fluency, but the speed in the is prominent. So reading speed, it means lagsik ang iyang pagbasa. Katong fluency is kanang sakto ang iyang pag-mention sa mga words nga walay sayop. Yung reading speed is kanang lagsik ang iyang pagbasa. And last but not the least, the reading comprehension. It is better to define comprehension in terms of reading that it refers to be able to define meaning of what is read or the ability to understand what is being read. So for me, the very important is the reading comprehension because bisan unsa pa nimo ka fluently mabasa or ka speedy kay ka mabasa, sakto ang imong pag-meet lang sa usa ka words or hanay ang imong pagbasa, but without reading comprehension wala jud. So mas importante jud nga gabasa ka then nasabtan pud nimo ang imong gibasa. And now the last part, the conclusion. Each type of testing has different points to consider, but all of tests is not easy to make or to do. Every tester should be aware of how to prepare, conduct, and involve, and some important thing to include in the test that is going to conduct. In testing reading, some points should be understood. In order to be best in conducting the test, sharing to make preparation such as decide what to assess, determining the level of a testee, and providing them the understanding of doing the test. And that's the end of my report. Thank you so much everyone for watching and listening my report. God bless as always. Bye.